everyone, and welcome back. It is RoRacing Season 2, Round 3 here at the French Grand Prix. We have just gotten qualifying underway, about a minute in already. Look, we see here Fixalen in so far on track. I think everyone's out on track right now, I believe. Surely there's S10. Dakar back in the field with the... what in the world is that character? What is that? It's alright then. But Dakar here. Ah, forgot about that.
Hello.
Hi, Tyler. How are you doing?
Same. Oh my god, no. So, how are you?
I'm doing good. We have what, 16 cars here for today?
So far, we had a bit more in practice, so maybe some more people will show up in a minute.
Gotcha. Currently, pole position will be a 56.9 by Spectre. Of course, we have seen them go much faster. I believe a 50 was the fastest time in practice 3.
Yeah, because they got a 50.8 in FP3, and then the next closest person was Dynamonkey with a 51.1.
Yeah, still waiting on these drivers to actually put those laps in. But of course, Dakar with the purple sector 1 here, with his interesting character. Going through the last sector here, through this hairpin, Dakar should be able to put in a good time. S10 on pole now with a 52.5. But Dakar is going purple sector 1 and 2 through the final corner and to the line. He will take pole position with a 51.1.
It's crazy that's Decare has set a time faster than anyone throughout the past 3 practice sessions, and it's not even his fastest time.
Just normal Dakar things, to be honest with you. Knee goes P2 with the 52.2, still a second off of the top. So I think we'll be seeing Dakar on pole position. So the fight for P2 is still on though. Super Yup goes P5 with the 53.1.
I think one of the main men will be to watch is Dynamonkey there. This is the most serious I've seen him take this league so far. He's done a few races, but since round 1 last season, he's not really tried any races, even though he's probably the second fastest guy here next to Decare, maybe Arienti. But he seems to be on the pace here, so we'll see if he can at least challenge Decare. But obviously, it is his home track, which he loves very dearly, so that's the only reason he's here.
Yeah, yeah. That of course, Dynamonkey very talented. He could get close to Dakar's time, but we'll have to see how this session unfolds. Actually, P2 now, Dom with the 51.6, 5/10 off. Not too shabby for him.
There is also some new blood on the grid in the Meowty_Omega. He was doing some impressive times in the practice sessions, and I've personally never seen him in my life before, so it's very interesting.
Yeah, I have seen him live in Formula 1. He was a very decent driver. He wasn't the top tier drivers, but he was always upper midfield and always in a shout at the podium. So he's very talented, and we'll see how he does here as he goes to start his lap. He's at the wall. Great.
Maybe he knows something we don't. Maybe that's the strat.
That might be the strat. Hitting the wall to start the lap might be the strat here.
And Decare's improving.
As always, Dakar is deciding to be the fastest driver once again.
I mean, it gets to a point, like, there's a reason he's come to drive here. It's because it's his favourite track. It just gets to a point where it's silly, the amount of pace he has. Here in Japan, he's just a different... It's street tracks. He's just a different breed.
Yeah, completely different. And he just has so much confidence, I think, in that car as well. He rounds the final corner, purple sector 1, purple sector 2, and you have the fastest lap of the session with a 50.8.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, he'll be the first to tell you as well. Qualifying is not his strong suit, it's how consistent he is. But obviously, at a street circuit, consistency is what you need. You just need to be up against the walls constantly. And that's why he does so well at places like Japan and Cannes and whatever else.
Yeah, also saying Dakar saying that his strong suit isn't qualifying is it's kind of silly.
I mean, it's not a strong suit for Decare. Like, you can see, he hates qualifying. We've seen Dino in the past, outperforming qualifying. We've seen a few people outperforming in qualifying, which always gets us a bit excited. But in the race, he just gaps everyone just because he does qualifying laps every single race lap. It's weird.
That is very true. He's just way too. He just hot laps every lap, and it's insane how consistent he can keep it up.
We'll stop glazing him and we'll look at someone else as Dom is in P3. He's been, off the back of a win. Maybe he's got the momentum to challenge at least to maybe come back from the podium. And right now in the championship is what he needs.
Definitely so. Also, just noting, Spectre has gone up to P5 with a 51.9. He is the fifth driver to reach the sub 52 seconds. So we're waiting for.
Yeah, I do believe we'll get a few more people into the 51 second lap times we saw in FP3. But it's a decent lap from Spectre. He's been struggling in the first few rounds of this championship, at least compared to last season. So it's nice to see him at least doing a little bit better.
Yeah, especially when we saw his performance in Greece last season. He was amazing there, and we've been waiting to see another performance just like that. This might be taking.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same for both Zan Leon drivers. I think that's the right name. Someone's spin. Is that Quinton? Just put it in the wall. But
Yeah.
Leon was also struggling the last few races as well. Both drivers, 3 and 4 or 2 and 3 in France, and then have just come into the season and not fallen off, but they've been struggling to say the least.
Very much so. Dino Monkey here, having a green sector 1 and 2, seeing if he can get closer to Dakar's time. Rounds the final corner and cross line. He will have a better time, but let's see. It's a 51.0, 2.5 tenths off of Dakar.
It's a very decent lap, but I think he struggled a bit in the last sector. He got almost touching the wall and whatever. I think he took it quite safe just to make sure he got a lap in, just to at least solidify P2, and then maybe now we'll see him go for the top spot.
Let's hope he can put up a good fight on his final laps, I guess. Train Pig going green in sector 1 here. Still not in the 51s, but very fast driver, and hopefully we can see him up there fighting for the top positions in qualifying.
Yeah, interestingly, both Accelerate drivers not really on the pace as of yet, at least into this qualifying session. Train Pig's down in P6 there, and he has in the P11. Considering they're 25 points ahead in the constructors, you'd be expecting a better showing, but maybe Train Pig here in this lap will prove me wrong. He's a bit wide for that happen.
Yeah, and to the line now, through the final corner. He will cross the line. Not a great lap. It's a decent lap. P4, 400ths off of Dom.
Ultimately 6 tenths off of the P2 spot, which realistically today is pole, because I believe we can predict who's going to be pole, so we'll look at P2 down. I imagine, at least for the race.
Yeah, definitely so. Still waiting on some of the better drivers, I believe, to put in a decent lap. I think some drivers like Hiaz, of course, needs to put one in. Ni, I would expect at least a high 51 as well.
It'll be interesting to see if Dom can improve on his time and maybe get into the fight and into the DRS train with Dino and Decare, because that'll be huge for his championship, since Train Pig seems to be struggling a bit with pace here. If he can maybe be on par with Dino and Decare and build that gap, that's going to be big for his constructors' campaigns. He's only 9 points in P2 behind Train Pig.
Yeah, it would be very much a massive amount of help if he can outscore Train Pig here today.
Yes.
Still waiting for people to start their qualifying laps. Everyone's just on an out lap, I believe.
think a lot of people are just building ERS currently. And this is where people have noted it's very hard to build ERS up for laps here, and it can be kind of frustrating where you only get a few laps in because you spend most of your time building up ERS.
Yeah, with the amount of straights here, it's very difficult. It's just a lot of ERS usage here today.
Especially because it's such a short lap as well. You don't really have much room to build it up on the out lap as well, so it can be quite annoying for some drivers, especially if you're struggling to hook up a lap. Then you're just going to be hitting the wall, and you got to do it all over again.
Yeah, very much so. But here, Spectre coming across the line, a green sector 2, but wasn't much of an improvement in sector 1. He does not improve his lap, stays P6. Dom with a purple sector 2, and he's in the garage.
No, it's not.
Oh, shoot. Oh, I hit the wrong person. Never mind.
Come through there. He's took the hairpin very nicely here. This could be a decent lap. This could put Dom in contention for at least P2. He's a bit wide for the last
Ooh.
corner, though.
Still a good lap, though, surely. 51.3.
Yeah,
Not.
that's exactly what he needs to do for his drivers at least campaign, where he needs to be just ahead of Train Pig, just so he can out points every race.
Looking through the rest of the grid, I believe Meow is also on an improvement, but he's still pretty far down the field. We'll see how he does in sector 2. Going through a bunch of traffic here through the DRS straight and through the fast right-hander. He has a lot of work to do here if he wants a good position.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's got the traffic, which is a blessing and a curse. From one hand, you get the slipstream through the always hit the wall there,
Yeah. Oh, and
and he's a bit
again.
wide, and he's yeah. But it's like I said, I think that was actually what I was about to talk about. The dirty air can really make or break your lap, especially around here with all how high downforce it is and how much you need to get the car rotated. If you're following people, you'll get the benefit down the straight, but then when you get into the tight like sector 3, it just ruins the lap.
Very much so. Fixela now on or improve sector 1. Moto starting his lap now as well. Fixela's he was good in sector 1, but he's not improved in sector 2. He also has some traffic, but he's just got past that now. Maybe he can bring this lap home.
Don't believe Decare will be going out again as well. I believe he's happy with his point 8. Doesn't really want to improve it. Doesn't feel like he needs to, but you never know. Dino, we've seen him pull out some beautiful laps in the past, especially in the driver testing. So maybe he'll challenge Decare, at least make him sweat a bit.
That would be very interesting to see. Dynamonkey getting ready for his final lap of the qualifying session here. Just waiting it out in sector 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a bit of a pile up in sector 3 right now for the slipstream down the sector 1. You want to time it where you get the slipstream down the first straight, but you then get ahead of the rest of the cars coming into sector 1 so you don't suffer from that dirty air.
Yeah, I can't believe we're gonna have a race to turn 1 once the laps get in.
Oh, yeah. We've got Dom, Train Pig right next to each other as well. Dom might be trying to get Slipstream off Train Pig for his lap, so we'll see how that works out.
I think Train might just be, yeah, they're both holding off a little bit, but I think Train's just trying to get.
Yeah, I think they're both building up ERS. He's in the garage, so he's definitely improving. That's big for Accelerate and at least Hugh Performance's hopes to try and close that gap in the championship as Accelerate's hopes lie with Train Pig.
Yeah, Accelerate has to hope that Train Pig will do well today. It looks like he also won't be doing very much for today. I mean, the Hugh Performances also have to step up their game if they want to catch Train Pig as well.
Who are the Hugh Performances?
Dom here, purple sector 1. Train Pig also going green in sector 1. Spectre's green in sector 1. S10 and the Hugh Performance doing very well in sector 1 and 2. Oh, Dom's hit the wall.
That's a shame. Dino doesn't improve though. Could have been there for P2.
Well, that solidifies their times. Train Pig here through the final section. seeing if he can improve his position, possibly up to P3 around the final corner and to the line. This lap
Being the
time
last sector.
improves, but it's not enough. Stays P4.
300 between the two championship protagonists. That's very interesting. I believe that's everyone's lap done.
I believe so too, unless someone down here as well. No, I think that might be it as well. So that wraps up qualifying here. Dakar on pole position with a 50.8. Dynamonkey in P2 with the two championship contenders here, P3 and P4. And Nova in P5. Spectre in P6. S10 in the Hue Performance P7. Quinton P8. Knee and Jay-Z, the two Midnight Stars, round off the top 10. The race will get started in about, 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Depends how quickly I can get everyone out, so bear with me.
We will take a short break and then we'll be back for the race really quickly.
me know when you're ready.
All right. Welcome back here. We're here for the French Grand Prix. It is 47 laps around this street circuit. Dakar is on pole position for his home Grand Prix. I think he's just back for this one race. Of course, P2 P2 we have Dino Monkey with Train Pig and Dom, both P3 and P4, just waiting behind. We have about a minute and a half until the green light. So, who do you think will be your favorite for today?
I mean, there's probably one man that we can realistically say
Okay, favorite
that might be the favorite.
favorite for P2 then. Let's say.
I think Dino, as long as he holds his nerve, then.
Yeah, very much so. Dino Monkey, as long as he stays consistent and finishes this race, I think he'll be a strong contender here. Of course, cannot rule out Dom or Train Pig. I would say personally Dom in P3. I think he'd be my favorite. I mean, he did well last season at this track as well, I believe, until the last few laps. So hopefully he can repeat that performance and actually finish it out.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a delay because Dino's having a moment.
Yeah, he's back in the garage, and there he is. Most of these drivers are starting on the hard compound. I think there's one driver on the softs, Leon, once again on the softs, and there's a few on the mediums. But it looks to be, I would say, a possible two-stop because it's 47 laps. Unless someone really wants to stick it out.
Yeah, it's a long race.
Yeah.
I think last year we had a two-stop, but the guy went for a free-stop because he had the pit delta, so he went to sauce at the end. So.
Yeah, for that fastest lap. Of course, the fastest lap does give 1 extra point. I think, yeah, pole position does as well. 1 extra point for both of them. So Dakar starting off the weekend well with 1 point.
Indeed, as we're going to get started now. Right, there we go.
Lights command is green flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's go for the French Grand Prix. Not a great start, I believe, for Dakar. It's a decent start at least. He's still in the lead, but that side by side with Dino Monkey here into turn 2 is still fighting out here. Dom also in the fight now. Great run through turn 2, and now that's Dom into the lead with Dakar P2, and that's also Train Pig here moving up into the top positions. But it's still a 4-car battle here for the lead. But I think Dom just has the edge on all of them.
Yeah, it wasn't a great start from the Frenchman in P3, which is out of character for him since he usually has a great start, especially from Iron Season 4, but very out of character for arguably the GOAT.
Yeah, well, he's made his way back up into P2, and now he's right behind Dom. And let's see if he can take back P1 from Dom. Of course, Dino Monkey and Train still battling it out there for P3. But lap 1 done, and that's Dom into the lead from P3. Into turn 1 now. Dom's chill trying to defend.
Very competitive lap 1. Everyone's staying with each other. I don't know what fuels everyone's running, but obviously we have got DRS activated this weekend, and we're just hopefully going to see quite a competitive train form here, especially between the top 5, as we can already see it emerging, to be honest.
Yeah. The top 4, I believe, are running away from the field. Quinton in P5 just holding on. Dakar still trying to attack Dom here onto the next DRS straight. Goes to the inside. It's now side by side here, and I think that is P1 for Dakar if he can keep it in. Still side by side going into the hairpin though. Basically even.
Yeah, looking at the data, a lot of the drivers are opting to conserve fuel here, as we've seen people run out of fuel at this track in the past. Everyone's in lean right now. Everyone's going to be conserving, saving their tyres, and trying to just stick out to the end because it is a very long race.
Well, even when they're conserving, they're still battling it out here, especially at the front. Dakar back into the lead. Dom going slightly wide into the wall. And that's Dakar with a comfortable P1. Well, I say comfortable. They're still very much right behind him.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be difficult for the Care to sort of break out of the DRS train because it can be so vital, especially with the slipstream as the added benefit. It's difficult even when you're a couple tenths faster a lap. You just can't break out of that constant train.
Yeah, the slipstream, the DRS, and the amount of straights here is gonna be very difficult for Decker to actually pull away from these three drivers. Dom still trying to defend from Dino Monkey there, and Train Pig just falling behind.
Yeah, crucially, this race is going to come down to who can protect the tyres the most and who can stay within the train while also doing that. As we can see, we've got these top four drivers, but just behind them as well is another train immersion of Quinton leading, and these guys might even latch into the back of Train Pig here and stay within the fight.
Yeah, they are within the second of Train Pig, so they should be getting the DRS now, and this train is just gonna get longer and longer if this continues on.
I think one person to pay attention to is going to be Moto on the soft tyres, especially Quinton as well. They've opted for the soft strategy while the top four have gone for the hards, but they could undercut, and if they emerge in clean air as well, since a lot of people are on the hards, they could be a real threat at the latter stage of the race as Moto's doing purple sectors.
Yeah, Moto's looking very, very fast. He's just made a position on Meow, and I think he's trying to take Quinton as well for P5. And he has. He's up into P5 now, along with the fastest lap.
Yeah, we know Moto knows how to at least win a constructors, as he was a part of the Cares constructor win last season. But he knows what he's doing. He's been around for a long time, so I don't doubt he's got a trick up his sleeve with the strategy going onto the softs to begin with.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on him for now. But back up to the front, Dakar now has to defend from Dino Monkey here, who's made his way into P2.
And this is my point. Obviously, Dakar can be however many attempts a lap faster than Dino, but as long as Dino stays within the DRS, doesn't make too many mistakes, he should be completely fine to the end of the race, and it's just going to be about who's got the better tyres and the more fuel right in those closing through few laps.
Yeah, we'll be waiting to see how this plays out. But we're on to lap 6 now, and Dino Monkey still clinging to the DRS and the slipstream. Train Pig, I think now might have to defend a little bit from Moto if Moto actually catches up a little bit. But he's still battling it out with Quinton there.
Yeah, I believe everyone is still within DRS of each other, so the DRS has a bit of leeway between the 1 second rule. But I believe at least up until P9 with Jay-Z, everyone's still in the train and just are still within a complete shot of winning the race at the end.
Even if that shot's pretty small.
You'd be shocked. I mean, obviously we see
Yeah.
Dakar leading right now, and that's what we expect. But he's only 4 attempts off Dino and then 5 attempts off Dom. He could easily make a mistake, not consider his tyres, or we've seen Dakar make final lap mistakes plenty of time. Iron Season 4 as he goes over the curbs there and loses a bit of time.
That is very true. I think remember he also made another mistake, and that allowed Dom to win a race last year. I forgot which race it was. Was it China?
Maybe. I remember he did it in Greece where he hit the wall and unlucky Merck just wasn't close enough, but he was like really leading the race and then he made a
Yeah,
mistake and that gap came down to like 1 second.
yeah, that too. As we say, that Dino has just hit the wall onto the DRS straight, so that allows Dakar some leeway. And I think that might allow Dom to catch up. Actually, Moto up into P4 past Train Pig, and I think he's gone for P3 as well.
Yeah, it's showing the real advantage of those soft compound tyres. He's got to use them now though because he's not going to have this much of an advantage at the end of the race, and he needs to build up a gap to the people he's fighting in order for the undercut to work with the softs.
Yeah, but right now, I mean, it's working really well. He's already up into P2 after turn 2, and now he has to chase down Dakar, and hopefully he can build up his gap. He's racing for a relatively new team as well, WeatherTech Racing, right?
They've been here since the start. They a new team coming into season 2, yeah, led by PSY VIP. I believe they've had some success, but not much. But bringing an experienced driver like Moto is quite big for their team, and hopefully they can bring some sort of success to them.
Hopefully he can. He's already fighting for the podium positions, and this is looking very good for his team. But still trying to get through Dino Monkey here
Yeah,
onto
as we can
P2.
see, Decat's stretched the gap a lot this lap, and that's what I mean. One mistake from Dino, and you can easily lose out, especially when you got Decat leading the race. You can't afford to be making mistakes like that, and you can see he's paying the prices. The gap's now down to 1.75.
And it may just increase more as Dakar. Well, I mean, both Dakar and Dino Monkey are still going faster as this race goes on, but Dino still has to somewhat defend. Dom and Moto are still battling it out for P3.
Yeah, like I say, it's going to come down to the final few laps. I do believe Dino will close the gap again, but that means he's going to have to use more of his tyres, more fuel, and that means he's going to be less suited at the end of the race to take the fight to the Frenchman.
Yeah, it is going to be a very big worry for Moto. He's using as much as he can right now, but he may have to conserve a lot more during the end of the race, where everyone is going to be pushing in those final few laps.
So we've had our first retiree as well. I don't know exactly what happened, but Sign Rex is out of the race. He's left the game.
Well, first DNF of the day, and I mean, we could see another one.
Thanks. Well, that was the only running Valor, so we don't expect much now.
Yeah, they're at the bottom of the standings with 0 points, so not a good day for them. Same with Sharp Cities that haven't turned up. It's a good day for, I say that, Zanliod Racing, both running out at the points, but Spectre's only one position away from getting at least 1 point for the team, so we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, and he's still battling with S10 there for P12. Yeah, side by side here into the last sector.
Yeah, I mean, I believe we're going to see fights like that all over the field, and those crucial points are actually going to make a lot of the difference, especially toward the rear of the standings.
True, but you know, a point is a point.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, point's the point, I guess. Especially in constructors.
Yeah, the top drivers have spread out a bit now. Moto's now comfortably in P3, Dom in P4, and they're still trying to chase down Dakar as well. They've made the gap up a
yeah.
little bit.
I think Daniel's been pushing on this lap. He started this lap off at 1.8 seconds. It's now down to 1.3. So he may be using a higher fuel mode, a higher engine mode, more ERS. I don't know what, but he's definitely pushing to try and close that gap.
Well, I'm looking at the fuel data and that stuff right now. Dakar seems to have more fuel compared to Moto, and both of them are running on lean as far as I'm seeing.
Yeah, so yeah, Moto used a lot of fuel to catch up to the front. And Dino Monkey's now back in the DRS. He's made a slight mistake in turn two, bit of oversteer, but he should be within the DRS of Dakar now.
Yeah, looking at the data, Dino, while he's been almost a second faster than the last lap than Dakar, he's used up a lot of tyres to do it and a lot of fuel, so he's going to be looking worse off toward the end of the race.
Probably more usage of ERS. Dakar seems to be saving ERS also.
Well, either way, he's now back in the fight for P1, and this may help him in the long run as he now has the DRS and the slipstream to help him throughout the rest of the stint.
These laps now where people are a bit spread and there's a bit of uncertainty is exactly what Dom needs to close the gap. He needs to close up to Moto, get into the stream with Dino and Decare, and extend that lead over Train Pig as Moto is now P2.
Yeah, they're still battling it out here, almost side by side here, going through the flat out chicane here, and they're still catching up to Dakar. They're both within a second of him. Oh, that's a mistake by Moto.
55.6, so he does have the pace to catch up.
Yes.
Yeah, we are seeing Moto blip between hot lap and lean though. He's also using a lot of his tyres, so will this play off in the long run? I don't know, but it's a tough call for Moto to make, and I can see why he's doing that.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm seeing the setups, it's very interesting. It's kind of spread out between the top four.
I would assume more low downforce, right? Is someone running high downforce for today?
Well, by the looks of it, Moto seems to have that higher downforce compared to the other three.
So really relying on DRS and slipstream to see if he can keep up with them on the straights.
Yeah, Moto's rinsed his ERS. Decay's got over half a battery. So does Dino, to be fair. So Dino's starting to look more into the future about what he can do about the pending Frenchman. As Moto's leading by 2 points. That's a timing glitch, surely.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, great.
There we go. Everyone in the top four within a second of each other.
Yeah, my heart dropped from it there. I wondered what Moto did.
Oh, Moto spawned at the. He's had a half spin at the hairpin, and that's allowed Dom to catch back up. He's moved into P4 and now Train
seems
Pig.
like commentator's curse has really struck him badly.
Yeah, Dom up to P3, Train Pig up into P4. They're still side by side though, going to turn 1.
Moto's showing how those soft tyres are starting to die off now. I believe he still is faster than the hard tyres, but those are going to fall off like a cliff, especially with a half spin. And he's going to start thinking about boxing soon and cutting his losses and then looking at the undercut.
Yeah, after that half spin, it has to be damage limitation for the WeatherTech driver. See if he comes into the pits soon enough.
You can't see though how Oldecare hits the wall.
Oh,
These drivers, the top 5 at least, the ones fighting for things such as Dom, Train Pig, they're in a different league to a lot of the race, and we can also see how much the DRS and the slipstream, once you lose out on that, how badly that impacts your paces. The gap between P6 and 5 is over 10 seconds almost.
That is a massive gap. That's Meow up into P6 now. He started P13 this race.
Impressive.
P12,
Nothing wrong for it
Yeah,
to be done.
P12.
Yeah, great job from Meow, and now he has to defend from the rest of the drivers now to keep that position. But overall, great job for him.
I've also been paying attention to the battle at the back between Leon, Super Jope, and Vexlin to be not last. It's quite enthusing stuff right here as Leon goes wide and they're all back side by side again.
I mean, technically, all of them are not last, but on track, yeah.
It really is just a battle for pride at this point. Leon winning it out for now. He's gone over the sausage curb.
Okay, but it's surprising to see Super Yope all the way down there.
I think it's surprising to see all of Leon and Super Yope here. Obviously, Leon was P2 or P3 a few times, but all hit the wall last season. And to come into season 2 and be this far off the pace, you've got to wonder what was going on last season. Obviously, he had a few accusations going around, but we'll leave that at that, I suppose.
Yeah, well, this battle rages on. We'll go back to the front really quickly. Dynamonkey now within 5/10 of Dakar going into the DRS straight.
And also Moto is just behind Dom also. He's kind of catching up a bit.
Yeah, still using his softs to the best of his abilities. We're about a third of the way into this race as well.
Yeah, I think Moto still holds the tyre advantage, but he's going to be burning those up, especially with the half-spin. Dom hits the wall and then he's going to lose out the position to Moto again, so Moto's back up to P3 and he can start closing the gap.
Yeah, that's Fixalen coming out of the pit lane as well. Into this pack of the leaders, just here.
Honestly, I'm sure Moto would love to see that as Dom goes purple set to 1.
I mean, brilliant sector 1 by Dom here, especially on old hards.
I think both Moto and Dom have realised that they've lost a bit to Dino and Decay. And as we saw with Meow in P6, you can't really afford to not be in the train. So they're going to push now to make sure they close back up and they don't lose too much time and can stay in contention for the win.
Yeah, maybe Fixalen could also help them just a little bit with the slipstream and DRS as they go onto the main straight. But yeah, now Dom is really... Oh, he's hit the wall. He's really pushing it, though.
Oh yeah, but I do think that's got something to do with the dirty air from Fexlin as well. Like I said before, the dirty air can really sabotage you, and especially in that sector 3, he kind of caught up to the Fexlin in the wrong place there. It kind of scuffed him.
That's allowed Moto up into P3 now. And also Leon in this kind of pack as well from the pit lane.
But it doesn't look good for Moto when I'm looking at his tires. He's almost about to reach the cliffing point on the front.
Honestly, I'm shocked he's stretched them this far.
Yeah, he's hitting the wall again though, so we'll be seeing him into the pit lane soon enough.
But you can see how much an advantage new tyres are going to have because Fexeland's gone purple sector 2. And this might entice some of the leaders to start thinking about boxing because if new tyres have such an advantage where Fexeland's going purple with driving like that, then what can they do? Can they undercut, come out ahead and extend the gap?
Yeah, but no one's taking that chance right now at least. They're all staying out.
My stars are seemingly battling with each other, to be honest. So,
Leon and Fixa are still battling it out for the fight to not be last, while Dom and Moto still try to lap them.
One thing Moto's got going for him is he's got all this traffic and all this DRS that he can just stretch his soft tyres as long as they need to go.
We got a car in the pit lane.
It's super jump. The battle for not last rages on in strategy is he goes for the overcut.
Yeah, I think Befit also went into the pit lane a few laps ago. Moto's in the pits.
He's in the pits now.
So both weather types
Not a
are
bad job
hitting.
with the tire management.
This is really going to be crunch time for Moto. He's gone for the undercut. We've seen the gap that new tyres can bring with Fexeland going purple sector 2. So Moto really needs to hammer it down now and try and, when the leaders pick, come out ahead.
Yeah, 27
That's
laps.
F1.
I mean, do you guys think he could go to the end? He's done 20 laps on softs. Could he do 27 laps on mediums and just make it to the end?
I don't think so. I think he'll struggle too much to all day. He can prove me wrong, and maybe he knows something I don't know, but looking at how the hard tyre is decaying, I don't believe that the mediums will be viable toward the end of the race.
It's
Just needs a lot of tire saving just to take it to the end of the race, which will like sacrifice your time.
He's going purple
Yeah,
sector
but there you
too.
go.
It's at this point it's like probably the battle between a 2-stopper and a 3-stopper.
Dom's pushing, he's gone purple sector 1 as well. We've seen him really dominant in that first sector. He's really shown some skill there, so maybe he can catch back up to the leaders now. He's not got Moto giving him dirty air.
Yeah, he's still waiting to get. He's actually, he's within DRS of Dino, I believe. I think also Train trying to keep up with them. Actually, no, Train's pretty far back. Oh, he's hit the wall again.
Yeah, we're going to be watching the gap now between Moto. When he came out of the pits, it was 23 seconds. He needs to close that gap down so he can come out ahead of Decare when he eventually pits. So we'll see where he can bring that gap to. He's already down 2 seconds, so it's looking very good for the man in P8.
Yeah, also purple sector 2, and he's going across the final corner. Let's see what the gap is now. He's at the wall. Brilliant. He's chopped the gap down to 20.4.
They're just lucky that they don't have collisions on.
Yeah, very lucky. Moto's gained 0.6 in the last sector, so he's this is looking good for him.
Yeah, he does reset the fastest lap again. He did a 54.9.
Another 0.3 in sector 1.
See as well, Dom has closed right up to the back of Dino Monkey, and they're going side by side now for the last sector. And ultimately, Dom is back in contention for P1, whereas he's in DRS at Decare.
Dino jumps into the pits.
Dino does not want to fight. He's straight into the pit lane. We'll see what tire he chooses. Surely the mediums.
He's out to 8.
Getting ready to jump out of his pit box onto
No,
another
he
set of
goes
hearts.
on another set of hearts.
So it's a one-stop.
Yeah, I believe Dino's on a great strategy here. We saw Moto looking for the undercut, and now he's just got to push to try and cover off and not get undercut by Moto, but Decare may also be thinking about pitting as he's now pushing and he's gone purple set to 1.
And interesting that Dino is ahead of Moto.
It's very far ahead as well.
Yeah, I think Moto made a mistake because the gap spiked up to 5 seconds, which is a real shame. He may have had a half spin somewhere because he was really looking forward to be back into that fight.
Yeah.
Decare's in. Dom stays out though. Interesting.
Yeah, Dom stays out for another lap. Train Pig also stays out for another lap. Decker in the pit lane will go on to another set of hards. So that's a 1-stop for him. Is that a 1-stop?
It could be. Maybe Decare wants 2-stop, but I think it'll be a 1-stop. I think Dom knows he's got the pieces. He managed to catch back up to Dino and Decare off his own accord. So maybe he's going to try to stretch that hard tyre out so he's got better tyres in the final few laps to be able to take the fight to the leaders.
It was just ahead of Dakar.
Yeah, that's the undercut I was talking about. If Moto didn't make the mistake before, he would have been very much far up the road.
Yeah.
He's only 4 seconds off them now, but he's going to have worse tyres and he's going to struggle to get back into this. Don't count him out though.
But Dakar does have a chance to retake P3 from Dino.
Dom stays out another lap as bold, so does Train Pig.
Really going for
Really
an
going for the
overcut. That's a massive overcut now for the two drivers.
Yeah, we just had to keep the eye on the gap between Decare and Dom. We've seen, I think, around 22 seconds for a pit delta, so if he can keep it close to that, he won't be too far away, and he'll have much better tyres in the final few stages of the Grand Prix.
Yeah,
It
Dakar.
doesn't seem.
Yeah, Dakar and Dino were going side by side here through Sector 2, and now Dakar's made the gap a little bit to Dino as he's Dino's clipped the wall just a little bit. Still going at it though.
Someone in the chat saying getting closer to Decare should be an oxymoron. Fair enough.
Keeping an eye on Dom. If he jumps into the pits, he doesn't.
Yeah, I think at this point he's got to commit. He's already getting undercut by Decare. He's got to fully commit and hope to God that the tyre advantage he has at the end is enough to catch back up to them.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a gamble, but it might work.
Yeah, surely they've seen Moto do 20 laps on his soft compounds, and maybe they're just thinking about a 1-stop with the mediums. Maybe that's a bit more safe for them.
Yeah, I mean, Dom's got the gap, and it's definitely a viable strategy. So I think that might be where he's going to go here, is to the medium tyres, because at this point he's losing too much time. He's going to come out easily 4 or 5 seconds off Decare when he leaves the box.
Well,
I mean, while I'm looking at the back, Nee is battling with Meowty. It's still like just behind him. They're going side by side.
yeah, Nia Meow still. Yeah, they're going. I think they've been going at it for the entire race essentially. That's Meow on the wall.
Spoke too soon, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's still pretty close to Moto though.
At this point, Moto's just ahead of them. They might probably catch him up. Who knows?
Rapcod's gone purple. 1 lap merchant might go.
Rap God just being the GOAT here with purple sectors. I was really hoping for a better start to the season, but still holding on.
Yeah, like
especially going perpendicular in Australia didn't help much.
Rapcod's got the pace. I do believe he's just the most inconsistent person I've ever seen, and he drives just a lot on ego.
And he's just making too much errors.
Yeah. They can be funny, though. Those errors can be funny. We saw it in Australia. Dom's in the pits.
Finally, as Decare also on this lap overtakes Dino.
Okay.
Yeah, Train Pig stays out another lap.
Yeah, at this point you've got to commit. He's already 5 seconds behind, and he's going to be even further behind because of this undercut. Dom goes hard.
Really? Okay.
He's going to go to the end, I guess, now. But he has a fresher set of hards compared to both Dino and Dakar.
Yeah, but
he's going to have a 4% tyre advantage over Decare. Is that going to be enough to catch them? I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, 4 laps. I think 4 lap fresher tires as well. I mean, it's an interesting strategy.
4 seconds is the gap.
We have seen Dom come back in such situations before, so I think it's possible for him.
I think what could be crucial for Dom is if Moto catches him up, he may be able to DRS train off of Moto and close back up to Decare and Dino. That might be what makes the difference. As the gap's only 3 seconds, it's not as big as an undercut as I thought it would be.
Yeah, but even then, Dakar and Dino are also still kind of DRSing off of each other. But I think Dino's just hit the wall again. He's just through the hairpin. He just slid into the wall.
Yeah, we're going to see the difference between free air and dirty air. That's what Dino's currently dealing with. His train pick goes softs.
Okay. He really took no to Moto.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy, but honestly, I actually don't mind it, considering how well Moto stretched it out. He's got an 8-second gap to make up, but we'll see where he comes out. I think it's actually a bigger gap because of the timings, because Knee's 11 seconds and he's with Knee.
Yeah, there we go. 11.6 seconds to Dakar.
That could be doable. Train Pig's got the pace, we know that. He's leading the championship. On soft tyres, when the car's on kind of old hards already, it's not entirely out of the question, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, definitely. He's a fast driver, very consistent, and a much better tyre advantage. So he's already gotten Purple Sector 2 as well.
Yeah, if you can close to the back of Moto as well, and then them two can work together in the DRS, we might have a 5-way fight for the win here. Like, don't count anyone out here, to be honest with you.
Time is of the essence here. 17 laps left to go. But Train Pig just needs to gain. Oh, that's a crash by Fixalen in front of the leaders.
That's embarrassing.
Still a battle to not be last. Super trying to catch up to him.
I'm just going on board with Dom, and he's eking out every corner of the track. He's taken so much risk to try and close back up to these guys and get into that DRS. But it's what he needs to do because, yeah, he's in the free air, but he's going to be losing so much fuel and so much tyres doing this pushing. He needs that DRS in order to be able to save behind the leaders. So he's got to really push now to catch up to them.
Yeah, the gap between the two leaders now 2/10. Dom 3 seconds behind with Moto and Train Pig still 10 seconds off. They will have to work together here if they want to get back to the front.
Would like to note as well, Leon has, I believe, won the battle of not last, and it's come down to Super Job and Fexel, and it's going to be an intense 1v1 toward the end.
Yeah, we will keep an eye on this one. Super Job and Fixalen still going at it. I mean, Fixalen does have the tire advantage.
Just seeing Meowty and JC coming out of the pits now.
Yeah,
Train Pig though. Train Pig, did he come out 12 seconds behind the leaders? It was in 2 laps. He's already down to 9.7. So maybe we'll see a late comeback from him as well.
Yeah. What fuel setting is he on right now?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Well, either way, it's working. He's now gained another 10th here to the line. The gap to the front is now, well, we'll see here, 9.4 seconds.
He is on standard, but he's got 4% worse fuel.
He just went on 2 wheels through turn 1. That was very, very sketchy from him. That might have lost him some time. Yeah, 9.9 seconds now.
We'll keep an eye on Train Pig, but right now it's looking to be a 3-horse race as Dom goes purple sector 1. Gaps down to 1.7.
Dom is pushing.
He's going to be getting the benefit of the slipstream now. He's going to get into the DRS, and it's going to be an absolute scrap between the top 3 drivers.
We're seeing Dino and Dakar like scrapping between each other, but Dom might take the scraps up.
Yeah, I mean, Dom has got the fresh air, and I believe the free air is actually much faster than the DRS. It just doesn't allow you to save as much as Dino and Dakar go neck and neck across the line.
I mean,
this is flat now.
Story of this race, I can't lie.
My question now is going to be, if Dom has managed to close up that quickly in free air, can Train Pig do the same with better tyres than Dom?
Yeah,
maybe make it a 4-horse race?
He's gained 1.8 seconds in 1 lap after his mistake.
Yes, it is, yeah, I'm telling you.
And here we
You
go.
have to wait until he gets to sector 2, how much time he has really gained also.
Yeah, top 3 now within a second here.
Oh! Train Pig 7.7 behind now. He's gaining a lot.
The wall. Yeah, Train Pick's going to be in there, I believe, at the end. But this is going to be a battle of experience. Who can hold the nerve the most? Obviously, we've seen Decare. He's a four-time world champion, five-time world champion if you count last season. We know he can hold his nerve, but can the other two? Dino, fairly well, now no longer new, but was new coming to the season. Dom also a new driver on the scene. Train Pick's been around a bit longer, but Dom, as he hits the wall,
Oh,
I know that's wrong.
he's not holding his nerve, is he?
no, that's what it's why you showed the experience. Honestly, Decare obviously been doing this. He knows how to hold his bottle, but Dom, being a new driver in such a high pressure situation, you just need to be able to hold your nerve, and he's struggling to do that. That's what's happened to Dino and Decare. Dino's just eked out a gap.
Yeah.
Train Pick's just 6.7 seconds. He only gained 3/10. Not much though, but seems to be slowing down a bit.
While we were paying attention to the leaders stretching out, Train Pick's now down to 6.7 seconds of a gap, so he's definitely still a talking point within this race.
Yeah. Actually, the gap for Dom is he's lost a lot of time here. He still has time to gain it though. 12 laps to go.
You can see all the leaders now have realised the situation, and all of them are pushing to try and eke out a gap. Every single one of them doing personal best. It's going to be an intense final few laps, I'll tell you that much. All of them just still improving.
I think
They're pushing each other.
Dakar overall though has lost 1/10 in all of that.
Maybe we're seeing some unlocked pace from Dino Monkey. Maybe he's been saving it. He has gone hot lap this lap as well, so he's going to be burning through some fuel, but maybe it's going to pay off. I don't know. But even Train Pick struggling to keep up as this lap he's not really lost time, but he's not gained any either.
Yeah. The gap between the three drivers now 1.5 seconds. Dakar back within DRS. Dom also back in DRS.
Yeah, Decare's gone up to Rich as well.
Dom's gonna lean, pretty much.
I think that's a smart play. These guys are driving an ego, but you can stay with each other fairly well without.
Yeah. Dakar has caught up to Dino Monkey now, right behind him through this hairpin, and now Dom also trying to do his best to catch up.
For me, it might be around the engineering panels. Dino Monkey come back to lean, but he's got so much ERS saved as Decare.
Dakar might have the fuel advantage.
But look at the ERS difference between each two. Dino's got almost a full bar of ERS, while Decare's got basically nothing.
Well, meanwhile, Dakar is now within half a second of him on track. It is 10 laps to go. It is hammer time for all of these drivers now.
It's a real shame for Train Pick that all these drivers decided let's just fucking scrap it out. Sorry, my language.
Yeah.
Because he's now was catching, but because they're just pushing each other to the absolute limit, he can't catch up.
Yeah. All within 7/10 now. I mean,
Train is doing personal best though.
Train's still catching. He's got 4/10 in one sector. Buffet going purple sector 1.
Yeah, Train Pick's tires are going to fall off a cliff now, and it's going to be, can he hold the pace that he's had? And if not, he may just be out of this race.
Yeah.
He has gained over a second this lap though.
Oh, Dom just went above the curbs.
Still within the battle though. I think Dino Monkey has
In the battle.
dropped off a bit. He's down into P2.
Look at these three, man. They're all just absolutely nails to the wall, pushing, eking every single inch of time out of this car. And when one person goes a bit faster, the other person goes a bit faster, and it's just a continuous cycle.
Yeah, 3/10 between the three drivers now. Basically all side by side here through the final sector. Mainly Dakar and Dino through the hairpin now.
Come to think,
the fuel usage is very interesting right now. Dakar is the only guy on ridge, but he has more fuel compared to both the other drivers.
we assumed Dakar was going to just run away with this, but Dom and Dino have shown excellent pace to really take it to the Frenchman at his home Grand Prix, and somewhere he loves his Dom hits the wall.
Yeah.
Still just in a train now, ironically.
Yeah, Dino Monkey leading it with Dakar P2, Dom P3, all a triple D really for the podium positions.
You've got to remember as well, though.
I don't think Trainbig might not catch up at this point. He is still gaining 4 tenths,
Yeah,
but
but
I feel it's not enough.
these three are on old hard tires, and they're doing laps within half a second of the fast lap of the race.
Yeah, absolutely pushing
Like
it.
that's insane.
Dakar's moved down to P3. Dom now battling for the lead with Dino. I think that's him into P1 now.
I think that's Takea realizing we've still got 6 laps left. He's not going to lose out to these guys. He just needs to save his tires because you got to remember as well. Dom pitted much later than these two, so he's going to have the tire advantage going into that last lap.
He does, but then there's the fuel advantage also existing just around the corner, which
Yeah,
Dakar has.
Oh, that's Dom
Like,
in the
that was one
wall.
can stand fuel while the other two are on a hot lap.
At this point, the tire advantage might not even exist for Dom because he keeps hitting walls and he's having some oversteer at some corners.
He's still got 4% over the other two as well.
Still.
And you got to remember, Takea doesn't do data and runs. He just goes off his many years experience. These two may have the data, and they may realize that they can cross the line with exactly 0%. Takea may be saving too much, and he's just wasting fuel here at this point, basically.
Yeah, at the line,
Well,
Dakar and Dom.
The other two drivers are currently on hot laps, but Dakar being the on rich, it's gonna be interesting when he flicks the switch into a hot lap.
My biggest question is, how is Takea driving with that massive avatar in his car?
Just
Surely
yeah,
that's distracting.
maybe for other drivers, but I think for him, it's just there.
He could probably win this race with his eyes. Like, he probably could be on this pace with his eyes closed. If he had a blindfold on, we wouldn't know.
I can't believe
I mean-
we're gonna have a Sony TV box win this race, possibly, or at least on the podium.
It's not a Sony TV box, by the way. It was a job application.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to blur that on screen.
An
That's-
application. That's
Rat
what
God's
he
got
won in
2
the last
purples.
race also, ironically.
Yeah.
Does Rank got to get the fastest lap? Yes, he does. Just mind the gap.
Dakar's caught up back to Dino Monkey here. These two being at it for the entire race, essentially.
They're just still going. Train Pig, you can see he's on the. I do believe his tires have fallen off a cliff, but even then, these guys are just going so fast on such old tires. It's actually insane to watch.
I just also want to note there's a massive fight for P5. I think between 4 drivers.
Oh.
Street drivers.
Jason,
Moto, GG, and Meowdy. Nate just kind of dropped out.
Knee had, yeah. Oh, that's a wall. Knee.
That's all.
I do want to take a moment to appreciate the strategy call from Moto here. He started the race in P14, and he's now fighting for P5. It's an insane strategy for him.
Yeah. Dakar's.
Starts on the soft, and he's going to end on the softs.
Oh,
Very
Dino's
interesting.
just hit the wall, and now that's Dom back into P1 here.
But the battle still rages on.
I honestly don't know where to look anymore. There's so much going on.
There's way too much going on, and the battle.
There's way too much.
It's not a battle for the last anymore. It's Leon.
Oh, never mind out another car. But the battle's. Oh, we didn't
Oh.
see that JC dropped down to P8 in the
Oh, P9.
meantime.
I think he's made a massive accident.
Nice.
He probably had a
you
massive
guys wanna
accident.
hit-
He was in the battle for P5.
Did he pit?
If you want, we'll pay attention. I'll pay attention to the top 3 in case something happens. You guys can watch whatever the hell's going on down there.
I'll watch the front as
Yeah.
well, but I mean, yeah, Dom and Dino's still
There's
going
too
at
much
it.
going on, to be honest. Too much.
3 laps to go here. Dom chasing his 3rd win of the season. Dino chasing his 1st win ever in RoRacing here, in this series at least.
No, he won last.
Wait, Dino?
Oh no, Dom. Sorry, I thought you said Don.
No,
My
no.
bad.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen Dino this far up since Australia round 1 last season. Since then, he kind of lost a passion for it. But I do hope such a close fight at the
Yeah.
end of this race is going to ignite his passion as he hits the wall a bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically 3 wide here for the lead with 2 laps to go once they cross the line.
Beckett is in P2 right now, just side by side with Dom.
Here we go. Dom holding on to the lead just barely with Dacker behind, and Dino also right behind all of them.
Slightly reverse wheel spin from Dino Monkey, just exiting the chicane.
Dino Monkey, I think, just hit the walls again.
Yeah,
But anyway, coming into the final lap, all drivers are basically equal in ERS. All of them have enough fuel to use hot lap on the last lap. The only advantage is Dom with 90% tires.
and probably the weight also. Decker
Oh,
does
he's hit
have
the
more
wall.
fuel.
His one, oh man, Dom hits the wall every time.
But here we go,
Commentator
final
skills
lap.
can,
Oh, he's hit the wall again with the rear tire.
All drivers basically level pegging on all stats. It's going to come down to who is better. Dakar,
hot lap. No, it's gonna be a proper hot lap shootout.
yeah, through sector 1. Don't lose your bottle here. Don't hit the wall. It's going to be intense.
Oh, Dom's hit the wall.
wall.
And he's gone over the
Right, to say
sauce curve. But as you say it, Dom, his one thing that was really hampering this entire race was hitting the walls. And he's just had a massive accident.
Yeah, look at this. So Dakar showing his experience, showing how he can hold his nerve. Can he do it for the last sector? Hopefully I've not just cursed him as Dino hits the wall as well, and Dom might get P2.
Yeah. Well, apparently you don't really need to look at data that much. It's Dakar through the final corner here now wins his home race. He is the winner here at the French Grand Prix. Dino Monkey and Dom still fighting for P2 or side by side at the line. That's Dino Monkey P2. On my screen,
GG.
was it Dom P2?
Dom got P2.
Dom P2. All right then. Train Pig with his teammate there coming across the line. P4. Moto just holds off Knee for P5, but he's still fighting here for.
They've got one sector left. Knee hits the wall.
That's Moto up into P5 for now. Let's see if there's any more mistakes.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's gonna happen.
Well held.
Well, yeah. Moto up to P5.
Probably great job for Moto, not gonna lie.
Yeah, from P14 to P5. That's an amazing job. S10 and Meow, both teammates up in P7 and at P8. JC in P9.
P9.
That's Spectre rounding off the top 10.
P10.
Holding off Quinton there for P11 and Rap God a lap down, but in P12.
And he also has the fastest lap.
What a race.
It is a very great race, especially with the battles going on.
I might see if any of the top 3 want to have a little interview here while we're sat.
Waiting on for the other 2 drivers to reach paddock.
I'm going to bring Dakar in here.
Right.
If I can.
If you can.
He's a dragon, yep.
Hello, Dakar.
Oh.
How was that last lap?
Well, I mean, my nerves are like all over the place right now. I did not expect them to push that early in the race, like lap 35 or something. They started pushing crazy. I was expecting them to push later, which caught me off guard. So I was 1 second behind. I had to catch up and try to not make a single mistake for on the last 2 laps.
I am
That
curious. Did you have any data going into this race? 'Cause it looked like you weren't too sure at fuel for the final few laps, and the other 2 were using hot lap while you were only using rich.
Oh, I mean, it was pretty much saving race federation. It was always gonna go to the end. I quickly realized in the race that it was gonna go to the end. Yeah. Otherwise, I knew what to do. I was skeptic about the mediums going a middle of stints, but no, they couldn't do 25 laps. So hards was the way to go, although they were a bit slower.
Dan will leave the game. My last question: how much do you think this race comes down to like experience? And obviously, you've had much more experience than people like Dom and Dino. Do you think that's what was the deciding factor?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to understand how a race goes and that it's quite long. You know, you cannot win a race by lap 15 if there's like 40 laps. You can't just win on lap 10. No, you have to be patient, and that's a skill that I've also struggled to learn. But like in sim racing, it was a bit of a struggle to learn it. But yeah, tough skill to learn.
Beautiful. Well done, GG, for your one of many wins. And I don't know if we'll see you back here, but if we do, I'll see you then. Enjoy the podium.
Oh yeah, by the way, no, this is my only win of the season.
Oh, okay.
I win on drive.
Range.
So you just show up and you just win and you dip. Great.
I mean, man, it's France, okay? It's my own Grand Prix. Come on now.
If you didn't win, would you have come back?
Yeah. Just come back next season.
Exactly.
Can again.
I'm going to open the podium now. Enjoy.
All right, time to do a race sim with my team.
Enjoy.
All right.
Bye.
You say money.
Wild drop.
Yeah. Well, that was our race winner Dakar. Now podium celebrations here for the French driver. His first win of the season and probably his only win of the season, as he stated. Dino Monkey finishes off in P2 with Dom in P3, which is very good for his championship hopes going into the next round.
Yeah, Dayton. Dom's P2 and Dino's P3, right?
Oh yeah, Dom's P2, right? My bad. Too many drivers with like a D. That's start a name, you know. It's a lot.
That's the podium. Before you do end, I do want to thank Nathan and YB for all their commentating, as I don't think they'll be back for at least a little while. I don't know what their plans are, but you've done an excellent job for the past 1 and a bit seasons, and I do hope you will come back eventually. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you
I
very
might
much.
be back here next week. We'll see. But
We'll see.
Yeah.
yeah. What's the next round, anyways? Let me see it. That's Great Britain with the sprint race. All right then.
Interesting.
All right. So next week is the British Grand Prix for the sprint round. Maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll see you. Maybe you won't. But you definitely see more of RoRacing here. All right. Goodbye.